We have a movie coming out.
It's clearly the breeding ground for the possessed.
We've got a short film and we're premiering it on June 25th.
June 25th at LIDO Cinemas in Hawthorne. We've booked a real cinema for the first time.
It's going to be good. Come check it out if you're free.
It's going to be an amazing night. How many short films do you think it's taken for us to get to this point? Cinema premiere for a short film.
How many short films?
Because we've made more
many
than one.
It's true. We have made more than one short film. We've actually made plenty over the years. And to be honest, it's probably like upwards of like, we probably made like 30.
I reckon about 30 is about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did like Siren Head back in the day.
Yeah.
We didn't do a Backrooms short film, but we made a game about Backrooms.
We made, to my knowledge, it never got released, unfortunately, but it was like the first in-development game of Backrooms at the time, and it was VR, and it was only like a couple months after the 4chan thing came out, and I was like, yo, VR Backrooms?
Get on it early.
Though I made the monster, Carl Weezer.
Carl
Weezer from Jimmy Neutron T-posing, and he would like phase through matter to get you. Anyways, that's for a different day.
Very good, very good. Well, we've had this project in the works for a long time. And I feel like it would be cool to talk about how it started, because it's kind of version 2.
Yeah, this is actually the second attempt on this story, which a year prior to us making this one, we were like, we just got to make something. So we locked in a day to do, well, not a day, a weekend to do a game jam.
I remember we locked it in like 3 weeks ahead of time, and it was like, yeah, we're going to do a jam day. We're just going to make something today. And we had 24 hours set aside to make a project. Yeah. So we've been talking about making a film for a long time. And then, yeah, the day rolled around and we gave it an attempt.
We gave it an attempt. And the first like chunk of the day was like delegated to what are we actually making, because we didn't know at the time, which was pretty entertaining. But I had an idea of a ghost story, which was told a bit different than most common ghost stories are.
What made it different?
Well, the outcome was different, in my opinion, and the steps for said outcome kind of subvert the most common like tropes with it. However, at its roots, it's just a normal ghost story. Well, not normal.
What are the parts of a normal ghost story?
The roots of like a traditional ghost story is something has occurred that is binding someone to the past and binding them, whether that be a location, a house, a haunted object. Something has occurred which binds their spirit there. Or it's a demon, but again, it's the same thing. Something has occurred that has bound that spirit there, or the thing, which in a way, people talk about spirit and ghosts and things, but spirits really is just like the directions and the wills that we carry in ourselves. So you can also view it as like, you know, the stuff that you hold on to yourself that isn't actually necessarily beneficial to you actually does haunt you. And even though you're not a house, you can still be haunted.
Yeah, that's right. I think about a lot of like horror films, and some of them are just stacking different phobias. Like, people are scared of needles, so let's have the person swim through a bathtub full of needles or something crazy. But then there's like other kind of like horror films and stories where they have scary concepts and like storylines that are actually like, when you think about it, oh, that's really scary. And a lot of them don't have happy endings, or like they kind of commentate in a way where the ghost wins or the demon wins, or like how that plays out. I know, what have you seen in stories about like the horror genre connected to ghost stories? What do you see in the movies that are like horror movies and horror stories that you read?
A lot of the time I feel like nowadays, unfortunately, they've like pulled it back a bit, because in my opinion, horror for just pure the sake of horror isn't good, because you're just distilling fear for the sake of fear, which some people like hype themselves up to have it be fun, but even distilling fear for the end result of fun is better than just distilling fear for the sake of fear, which most of them just try to aim for that now, which is a bit sad. Which the best one, like, films I've seen is Let There Be Rain.
Let There Be Rain. Risk of Rain.
Oh yeah. All right. Back on track. Sorry, I got distracted by the rain. What was the
Risk
question?
of Rain.
So,
No,
Risk
that's
of
not
Rain
what
2.
we're talking about. Risk of Rain 2. Get around it. Great game. Yeah.
Buy the DLCs. We are not affiliated.
Buy the DLCs. Good little quest lines. Now, horror films. Fear for the sake of fear.
Most of them, there's a rule in, like, horror and film, and not even film, just storytelling and life in general, which is the thing that's scary to us isn't actually the threat itself. Like, a bear isn't actually scary. The knowledge of the bear being able to maul you to death is scary. So knowing that a bear exists somewhere on the world isn't very scary, but knowing that there's a bear in front of you in the wild,
That's hungry.
that's very scary, because now you're like, oh frick, this actually like applies to me now. And so in my opinion, I think what's actually scary isn't necessarily the threats or any threat, it is the knowledge of it and like the reality of it. But here's the like big rule. If you can get people to not know what the threat is, but imply that there is a threat, that allows their mind to race, and it actually does like a negative feedback loop.
They can fill in the blanks with like all the what ifs.
Yeah. And so it's like, say you're in the woods and there's a bear in front of you coming to attack you. Oh crap! Or if you're walking in the woods and you're alone and you start hearing like the footsteps around you, now you're like, is it a bear? Oh, no, it shouldn't be a bear. But maybe it is a bear. And it begins to build a unease and a discomfort. And the more that like that sounds keep following you, you're like, okay.
What could be there? What is this?
What is it? And it's like, okay, if it's not a bear, what if it's like a deer? If it's a deer, that's not too bad. But then again, I don't know, like it could charge me or something. And then it's like, what if it's a moose? And then it's like, oh, I'm dead if it's a moose. So then it's like, ooh, gotta pay a lot more attention, and you start to focus on it a lot more, like hyperfixate out of just natural protection.
Yeah, and that's what horror movies prey upon, is like, hey, this natural survivor instinct to not be mauled by a moose, by a bear, or charged by a moose, or be mauled by a moose. They can prey on that in their horror movies.
Which pretty much all that boils down to just the fear of unknown. But
Yeah,
I believe
correct.
it's actually the fear of the unknown is scary because we have knowns.
We have knowns.
Yeah. So it's like if you're exposed to, different horror movies over the years, when you are in a dark room, like a hallway at night, and you hear a footstep and you can't see to the end of the hallway, your mind will start filling in the blanks for what should be at the end of the hallway. If you've never seen Slender Man before, and you're a kid, then suddenly you see Slender Man, that's the first like creepy night image creature you've seen. Wherever you look in the darkness, your brain's filling in the blank now that Slender Man is there. It's scary, it's terrifying. But then you're like, is he actually there? I don't know. And the uncertainty then adds to the fear.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
a lot of films never resolve it, or they don't set it up in a nice way and it just turns into a mess.
Yeah, well, they have their in-person, real-life fears, and everyone has different situations that they're going to go in through that distill or create fear in their life. But then, instead of being able to say, Slender Man's just this, and then the kid grows up and is no longer afraid of Slenderman, you know what I mean? It's like the movies might not resolve, like, oh, by the way, this scary thing's actually not that scary and something that can be conquered or something. Yeah, but it's an interesting genre because we are making a horror film ourselves with a bit of a subversion on that take. We're not really trying to say, hey, look, here's horror, here's a scary movie, hey, come and be scared. It's more like, we know that there's already a pre-existing audience for horror movies. What can we say to them that is different and maybe change how people view scary things? What do you think?
Agreed. I think some of the best like horror films that I've watched is one of them is Strangers, Pray at Night. But it actually has like a positive ending. Like it's very tragic what happens because it's a family in a trailer park and then a bunch of killers who kill for sport come. But throughout the film, they actually fight back. Like the characters you follow aren't just like, oh my goodness, and they're running around. They actually like arm themselves with weapons and they start trying to plan, how do we get out of here? Like how do we
get out?
How do we contact the authorities? Blah, blah, blah. And it ends with them succeeding to get out. Like they end up, as best to their knowledge, they kill all the killers. And it ends with like them, and it's like, at that point, it's like, let's go. They can live another day. Yeah, they're probably traumatized, but they can heal from this and still have a good life. Let's go.
Traumatized.
And the bad guys are dead, and it's like, it was suspenseful, it was thrilling, it was like, oh my goodness, at different parts, but I was like, yeah, this is great. But then there's a common thing that they do where they always try to leave it up for question whether or not like there was a succeed or not.
They want to keep that horror and that fear.
Yeah, they want to try to keep it.
cemented.
Where I feel like almost in a way it's okay to just let there be a victory. And I think it's a lot more enjoyable for people and memorable for people, especially with the lead up towards it and there being a conclusion. I feel like it's more impactful. Like with the movie Nope. Jordan Peele directed Nope. And Nope, to this day, one of my favorite horror movies. It's like classic take of aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah, you've got a big UFO saucer, you got aliens, you've got like, you got all the mysteries and screwing around with like their day-to-day life and things. It's like, what's going on here? And you just follow the slow, like, this major slow burn. Well, it's not super slow, but you follow like this slow burn of them uncovering the aliens, them realizing something's wrong, something's going on. There's a ton of under themes to the whole film, talking about like Hollywood and all this, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, for the average viewer, without like going video essay mode on it, it's pretty simple. Like, it's pretty clear that it's like, oh, there's an alien. They do a subversion. Partway through the film, there's a shift. There's a tonal shift where the characters overcome. They end up overcoming like a hurdle, and it allows them to like have a fighting chance, which suddenly like a lot of hope and like energy gets brought back into the film rather than just despair. Because up until that point, there was a lot of fear, despair, confusion.
Now they have a chance to turn it around.
And then it comes up, and I think because of everything that occurs in the film up to that point, it ends up feeling really earned and like sits with you a lot more. It's a lot nicer. And fantastic film. It nails the horror, the fear of the unknown and everything. But ultimately it does still have like a positive ending.
Can you make a horror film that has hope as an element?
I believe you can. It's not often done though, because it's a fine line you gotta walk.
It's a very fine line.
It's a fine line you need to walk. But
well, you have an audience that are expecting scary, darkness, interaction with evils. Get a bit of hope in there. Injected.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It could be even more unexpected than a jump scare. Is that there was some hope in there?
Oh yeah.
Whoa. Can you have a horror movie that has a positive element to it? An element of hope?
Yes, I reckon so. That was one of the fun ideas that we had when we did this original version of it, which we only ever got the first part of it done, the whole climax sequence and like final rounding off ending. We never got that finished, unfortunately, because we had 24 hours and we ended up running to the AMs.
It was only one day in the AMs.
Yeah. We actually did get a lot done. We had like the whole start, intro set up. It was a lot more bleak, to be honest. Like,
we were like pitted against each other.
Yeah, our characters were pitted against each other, and there's
a lot of good changes that happened.
Yeah, but a lot of that was because of constraints. We only had us two to film with, we only had 24 hours, so we couldn't bring anyone else on board to film with. And the story had to somehow magically be done in like, I think the original like attempt run time was going to be like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it became a much bigger project when
Yeah.
we revisited it like a year later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we ended up leaving it, but the original idea was, what if you have a ghost story, like a ghost that realizes maybe the reason he's stuck isn't because of like unfinished business from other people, but it's actually his own fault.
He's taken his victim mentality and then changed it to go, oh, wait a second, this is actually my fault.
Because it's like all traditional ghost stories and hauntings come from unfinished business. There's resentment, there's a weight, and in pretty much all of like, in every like culture, you can look back to something. The Wendigo, that comes from cannibalism. You've committed a terrible sin, you're turning into a monster, unfinished business, you're holding on to that. It's not resolved, and now you're stuck immortally, like, starving.
Yeah, that's right.
Unfinished business, you're now haunted by that curse. You've got, like, there's quite a few from like Asia where there's the original version of Click Clack Slide, which is a person who got hit by a train. They were pushed in front of the train, so they crawl around looking for whoever pushed them to get revenge
So
on
they're
them.
still holding on to revenge, and that's
Yeah.
the curse, that's the ghost, that's the
They're
story.
They've been murdered, they've been like robbed, and they're holding on to, I need to find who did this to me and get back at them. It's always like a form of vengeance, revenge, or
It's like self.
they were truly wronged, and it's the grief that they're holding on to. That's also the other one, that they can't pass on or move forward with their life, which is ironic because they're dead, but it's like it's that bad that it's so clearly obvious that they can't move forward that it almost in a way kills them, that because they're holding on to the past.
Yeah. I actually like that we got to explore that in the film, in Echo Chamber.
With the original script, quit mewing. All right, so with the original script though, I was the one who came up with the base idea.
You did.
And then we rolled with it, and it actually was cool. Like with
We
the time
actually have an
constraints-
edit that was created from it.
Yeah, we do. And yeah, it's a bit slow. So I'm not too. Again, with the constraints, I think it was pretty decent for what we had at the time and for how short of a period we gave ourselves.
I
to
really
make it.
feel like I'm proud of the fact that we just bothered to make something.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you and I have been dreaming about ideas and talking about like, oh, we're going to have a studio, we're going to make movies, we're going to do all these things. And then it's all like cool to have ideas, but then it's so much more valuable to have something small and real instead of having just some big dreams that are imaginary.
Yeah.
So we were like, hey, let's just dedicate and just film something in
like,
one day. And that was enough.
If
as
you want
cringy
those
as
dreams-
it was enough to get the ball rolling. And then now look, it's now turned into like, we're booked to cinema. We've got a film we're proud of. We've come a long way creatively and artistically. We've learned a lot. We've got better gear. We've been exposed to more things. We've collaborated with creatives. And all that started with us picking a date and being like, no matter what happens, we're going to turn the camera on and record something today.
100%. And even with all that said, I think even the big dreams and stuff, they can be imaginary for the moment, but they will always be imaginary unless you just start doing steps with what you have in your hands currently.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, no matter what, I think it's just better to focus on what you've got currently in your hands.
Exactly. Focus on what's in your hands. And I think it was cool because we did make that short film like Game Jam style day where we just filmed for, the whole night and made a little scene. Because we did that, it didn't just give us an idea of what we wanted to do, but it also gave us an idea of what we didn't want.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I love how the biggest change was in our original script. you and I were kind of pitted against each other.
Yeah.
And we had a reason for it. Like it was like, oh, we want to, have an unresolved business and then parallel that to the ghost and, be like, there was a reason. We weren't just like, like being silly. We had a narrative point. But then as we were watching it, we were kind of like, yeah. Or like, I remember when I was like beginning to think more about it, I was like, this isn't really working. Like you're just two guys that are kind of angry at each other and it's like, what's going on?
So this brings us to the next question, which is, because I think you're leading into it, which is, with the second version of this, which is of this script, I guess.
The whole script got rewritten.
It got rewritten. It kept the same base.
The whole project.
It kept the same base. We kept like parallels in there and things.
Yeah.
But it kept the same base message and everything.
The same core concept on Ghost is the same.
You were the one who rewrote it, and I remember you showing me it, and I said, I'm going to let you have like more control over this and see what you come up with it. So, what were your thoughts, and what were the things you immediately wanted to change or add?
Yeah, that's a great question. I loved that we changed the dynamic from us being against each other to being unified. So what happened was, instead of us having like the similar journey to the ghost, where we both have unfinished business, the ghost has unfinished business, and then we both kind of resolve it at the end, we made it that you and I were in a good state where we're already like, it's kind of like, let me model for the ghost what a, happy relationship is. Like in like the ghost is got resentments and hurts towards his family, and then we're literally brothers in the film. We're family, So we're still in a similar situation, but it's a contrast rather than like a similarity this time. And I think that was way stronger. You get to see a really good dynamic, and then you get to see someone who's like in hell, because they're tormented by themselves. So having a contrast, I think, was really strong.
100%.
It also made it a lot more fun. Like we're there, we were making music, we were able to bring in, like, I guess, so change number one, we're now on the same team. Yeah. Change number two is, instead of us randomly sitting around and just doing dialogue, and like we came up with that script the same day we were filming it, like we didn't really put too much thought into it, but after having time, I love that we gave ourselves actions to do. Like we're making music, we're talking to people, we're getting phone calls. Like there's just constant bits of action that are happening to us, which really keeps the story moving. And I feel like it made it a lot easier to act as well. Like we actually had tasks, while we're talking, we're adjusting and playing with audio gear and stuff. And it was really fun to change this whole space and turn it into like a movie set. To be like, hey, this is us making indie music. We're rocking out, we're hanging out, we're having a good time. And then, I think the third thing was we introduced more characters. And I think that was a function of, now that we didn't have the constraint of one night, we could kind of explore things a little bit more. The biggest one being that the ghost now was portrayed by Sebastian Linster, he did so good. He literally stole the show. Like originally, it was just going to be a voiceover, and that's what it was.
It was going to be a voiceover, and then we were going to do some like wizardry video stuff, but then
really simple visual effects and like modulate our voice to make it sound like a ghost.
We're going to get a different person to voice it.
True. It was a voiceover. Correct.
But ultimately, there wasn't going to be another actor. And again, that was coming from mostly constraints.
It was all constraints.
And there was a original vision for what the ghost could be, but it became a lot more clearer as like the rest of the film was coming together. That we're like, no, we really want another person in here to actually have that.
That's right.
That humanity to it.
Yeah, so the ghost is a person on screen, and like it's not hidden behind all crazy visual effects. Like you still get to see his face. You still get to see all that. Like we know that we know that Harley's talking to a ghost. But it's cool. And Sebastian, he's so experienced. Like he's done so much acting before. I've acted with him in a theater production before. And what was crazy is we shot his scenes after we did the whole rest of the film. So we already had an edit of the film, and he was able to sit down and watch it, and then with the hindsight of knowing what your lines are and stuff, he was able to really like finesse his lines and finesse his delivery and script because he already knew what he was coming into. And it was cool just seeing his creative process of like we actually shot it twice. We shot the original script, then we shot his lines that he kind of came up with what he kind of felt the character would say and how he would say it and what made sense. And at the end of the day, we just used all of his new stuff.
Yeah.
It was such a major improvement. And then, yeah, the whole film got to have like a bit of his creative touch on it as well.
Yeah.
So it's just awesome. Bringing more people in, bringing Emily as well at the start.
Yeah.
Talking about, you know, the core is about forgiveness and letting go of things. Just a little scene with Emily at the start was also, again, being able to model what forgiveness looks like to kind of foreshadow what the ghost is going on. He's kind of choosing to confront things and let things go rather than holding on to it forever. So you got like, just like, you know, the parallel of us. It's not really overt, but then it's also modeled twice. So yeah, we're able to bring so many more elements into the script now that we decided, hey, we're not just confined to one night. We're not just confined to just us on the screen. What I do think is really cool though, is that 80% of the film, even maybe more, I don't know how much, but was filmed with really no crew.
Yes.
Like that's actually crazy. The more I was thinking about it, I'm like, man, it was just you and me, the camera, and then a wireless monitor, so that we could see that we were in frame and in focus.
Actually, yeah, let's
like
talk.
It's actually cracked.
Let's genuinely talk about this for a second
crew.
because
we're just wearing the same mics that we're wearing now.
Yeah, because me and Jake, we've done, as we said, we've made probably like 30 different films before. Whether or not we've uploaded them, or
we've made
whether or not we did the full like visual effects passes on them, because some of them we made and then start on the visual effects. It's like, okay, this is too much, but then we still have the film.
Yeah, it's just there's a folder called Projects which has all the MP4 files in it.
Yeah, and they all would end up becoming something. However, just over that time, we would be very resourceful and creative with how do we make things? How can we dodge like cost expenses? Because like if you want to do a stunt, we can't just buy wires. We can't do that stuff.
Yeah, we kept the budget so low, but it looks so good.
But then that carries over even to like visual effects and things. And eventually that carries into crew management and systems. So like on the day we ended up setting up a system where we had like the main camera, and then as you said, we had the wireless like multimeter monitor, but it had a clamp arm, so we could attach it to the camera and have like a proper cinema camera with almost like a selfie camera on it. Yeah. So we could actually line ourselves up and like position our own eye lines
to the monitor.
To the monitor. And what we'd do is while we're acting, you can't even tell it, but while we're acting, we can actually look at ourselves on the screen and see what we look like while we were acting.
Yeah, it was really cool actually.
Yeah, it was stupendously useful, and especially like, because someone can be behind the camera helping set up the shot, but then since there's only two of us, we need as much input as we can get. So still having that view, we could then both just bounce back and forth, do like the critique and approval like rates.
Exactly, yeah. Like in a way, that's kind of finesse from multiple short films now that I think about it. Like we kind of started that, like even where we did the first echo chamber like test scene, that was kind of our setup, you know, it was quite similar. But we were able to do literally, I would say, 80%. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy. And then Kalisha would come in and help and like move the camera for one bit. But then we lined it up so that we actually bothered to do pre-production of the whole thing as well. Like the entire film was storyboarded, shot for shot, and yet it is exactly what the storyboard was. So we already knew going in, this is exactly the shots we've got to get in X time. This is our list, these are our scenes, and these are the setups. And all the shots that needed a moving camera, we'd do them all first with Kalisha, then she would go home, and then it was us for the whole rest of the night into the AM, just doing take after take after take after take after
Which
take.
Also, special thanks to you, Kalisha.
Kalisha did very good on the cameras, yes.
She did really good, and we had to shoot late because we needed no sun, and
the whole thing set at night, which was cooked.
Yeah, which we don't have a sound stage and stuff, and we're doing it in a house, so... Which obviously it's like that stuff can be mitigated with budget, but again, we don't have budget, so we don't have budget. Do it late.
We had to do it late. We had to film overnight. We filmed when the sun went up every night for the haunted house scenes especially. Yeah. We used all the time that we had to get over the nights. Yeah, that cooked us up really bad.
Something that I really enjoyed though through all this So not only like was all those systems really good, but we got to really try our hand at a few things that we have never really had to do, which is like set design, set dressing. And
Oh
things.
yeah,
Like the
Getting,
haunted house.
the hard rubbish loots, and just chucking them into the haunted house. Oh my gosh.
Setting things up, making sure it's like, oh, this looks a little bit too like modern. Get this guy out of here, and just all things like that is because most of the time we would plan our films. Like all of our films, we just wouldn't care about like what's in the background or things, or we would do it.
It was kind of rush job vibe.
Yeah. Well, it was more so just like.
Well, no, actually, I disagree. I think we did. I think like we did care to the measure of how much things mattered, but we never built a purpose-built set for a scene on this
Sorry,
way.
yes, that's it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like we definitely cared in our previous ones, but like say Siren Head. We didn't need to do any set because we're in the woods. Whereas this was the first time we were like collecting items, you know.
We need drop sheets. We put markers on the ground for where we need to be for each scene.
Yeah, we were marked up.
And then we built the sets
blocking
around where we would be and also where we would want the cameras to be.
That's right.
Granted,
we did actual filmmaking.
We actually, we were like, okay, we're gonna need to go here, and then we want us to go here, like A, B, then C.
You had such a good idea for the lure light. Like when we first enter the house, something that gives us a reason to go deeper is like this light's gonna turn on, and it's gonna draw us in. So cool.
Fun experience because we've never built like a purpose-driven set before.
It's so true.
Or done like set dressing for something that's purpose-driven because it's not that. Bad wording for me on the behalf of saying that we didn't care, but we've always just filmed in a place where the location, like the film, we always took liberty at the creative process time to just be like, we can just set it here and it's fine.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
Siren Head,
what it is.
We're in the woods. We're in the woods. Don't need to change anything. And then other ones, it's like, oh, we're in a bedroom. Just film in the bedroom. Done.
Yeah,
Don't need to change anything. And however, with this one, it's like, okay, this is very. We can't really get away with this anymore.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Even with like the set in the house, we did in here, like where we're filming right now, when we set it all up for the like all the props and layout and the dressing.
That's right.
That was also all purpose driven. Like the placement of the boxes for the camera angle and stuff for like the reverse shots and things.
Yeah.
Making sure there's room for all the like.
All the cables and making things
all the
work.
tripods, cameras,
Yeah. One thing that was really tricky in here, which was I noticed when we did the original filming, which was in this space, is that with all the white walls, everything was really flat. And because light bounces all around, like even if you got 1 point light, you're lit from all sides, right? Like I'm being lit from behind because it's a white wall. And that doesn't look that cinematic, right? So I was like, oh, how do we milk it? And one of the things we did is for our first two positions when we're playing like guitars and talking to each other and stuff, we have two lights, instead of just having one light in the middle, we had two lights on both of us and they were shuttered so they only hit us individually. So we're both being lit perpendicular rather than with bounce side of the room. So we're shuttering all the film lights from all the walls and then we had none of the downlights on, all of our lights are shuttered and then we used as much practical light as we could. And it made it look like it's hard to express if you don't see the comparison, but it just looks so much more like a movie rather than this flat kind of random
deliberate
footage.
Deliberate choice lighting.
Yeah, we did everything was deliberate with our lighting choices.
Yeah,
and it looks so much better because of it.
100%. Like some part that I found really fun was when we had the flashlights in the ghost house.
Yeah, and how good they were different colors, and that was unplanned.
That was unplanned for them to be different colors, but I'm so glad that they were. One's like
even on
like
a poster,
tungsten bulb, the other one's like a different LED.
Cool being like they're slightly different.
The yellow
colors.
and the blue.
So cool.
But what we very, very quickly, because when we got in there, the phone torches are made to just beam light in every direction. And when we got into filming, we've got this like a nearly 180 degree cone coming out of
it's just it's
like probably like 120 degrees.
You're talking about the haze in the room made the light visible.
Yeah, so we've got vision cones of the light pretty much.
Yeah, it looks so
sick. Looks great, but when you're filming, the haze carries the light and it would blow out the camera like crazy, or you just couldn't see anything because of it.
Yeah.
And so really quickly we realized, oh, what if, because it is still a cone, and we can actually see the direction, if we angle the light so that the cone, like we can literally view it, so it just wouldn't project onto the camera. We then, so while acting, and because it's dark, you can't really see our eyes.
Yeah, that's right.
And it just looks like we're looking at stuff in the distance when we glance at the cone. We just make sure that we angled the phone, like, even though it made no sense for us to angle that way, just so it would not hit the camera. And then the camera would never blow out. And then we were making it so, like, as we're walking, we're always keeping the really nice cone shots.
Yeah, that's right. And the cones are swinging back and forwards, and we're using it to light each other as well.
And then, there's a couple
it's like
times
we didn't
where-
actually need much practical lighting besides the horror stuff of like, oh my gosh, that thing's lighting itself up.
Yeah, because to do like the lighting of ourselves, so when we would talk, we would actually, you don't notice it while you're watching. Like if you're aware of it, you'll be like, that doesn't make any sense why they're doing that with their torches.
That's
But
right.
You don't notice it while you're watching, but when one of us would talk, there was a few moments where I literally would aim the torch at myself and look like I'm still pretend I'm using it to look in the distance, but I'm shooting the light at myself
Yeah,
just to light myself.
now we're lit. Yeah, exactly.
And-
it's genius.
And then it just works.
it's so cool.
And you don't really question it at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, not bad.
Yeah,
It
it's
keeps us
awesome.
lit, and it also gives us control of where the viewer's paying attention.
Yeah.
Oh, he's talking, the light is on him. Yeah. Oh, he's investigating over here. What's he looking at?
Yeah, that's it. That scene, I'm so happy. It was such a significant step up, like in so many ways. The production, the set, even our acting, it was what's going on. It's a parallel scene between you and the ghosts in the chamber. Oh, bruh, it's so good. The film is so good.
This is also probably the first film that we've actually made a proper poster for. Together,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Like
He's
I
made
guess-
posters for some of his others in the past, but the
It's
one
true.
that we've worked on together, this is the first film with a proper poster.
It's a proper poster. We got a poster up now. How cool is that?
It's pretty
There's
cool.
that. That's your face up big. Oh,
face.
yeah.
Possessed eyes.
Possessed eyes. Practical effect. His eyes actually roll back into his body. Oh my god.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. But yeah, we are doing an event.
This is cool.
It's cool.
It's a little bit like surreal, but also just like refreshing in a way to do this. Because it's like,
Yeah.
there's like a lot of stuff involved which I won't take as much credit for it. It is like majority your ability and getting like everything sorted and booked and things, which is awesome. But it's definitely surreal being like, we have a film that we've made that's actually being premiered, and there's a real event booked, it's happening.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's not really scary, it's more so just like, this is good.
It's really exciting.
This is good, this is exciting. This is like,
Yeah.
this is proper actual next steps occurring.
That's right. We are taking this is. I was literally about to say this is like a stepping stone for us because we've never done a premiere before, and it's a completely different deliverable to do an event than it is just to make the finished film file. You know, like we can make a movie and you can put it on a YouTube or whatever it is, but to have that cinema experience where you get to be around the people, even meet the people that are like, I made this film, I'm in the
Yeah.
film, I'm cast, and I'm on the screen, I'm the person who did the sound mix, that's Mitch Hughes. Whoever's involved, they get to be involved and you get to meet them and be all around each other, and it kind of makes, we've put in too much effort, like in my opinion, we've put in so much effort, and then to not have it be experienced by everyone in the right way,
Yeah.
that would be a tragedy. So it's pretty cool that we get to have an event.
It's a bit like the whole, if a tree falls in a woods,
Yeah.
no one's around to see it, you know?
Did it actually fall? Yeah, you'd be like, oh yeah, I guess you've made a film, but no one's seen it.
It's not necessarily for just us to be like, oh, we want to be seen.
That's
it's
right.
more so for, we want to have that experience to run an event and host it. We want to know what that's like. We want to get better at this stuff because ultimately this leads to where we want to be in
That's
the
right.
future. We want
That's
to
right.
be making projects, creative projects. We want to be able to share them with people, get people's feedback, the ideas. We would love to just, it's a dream to inspire others.
That's right.
And be able to just share the love for creation and do it in a really positive way that's like uplifting for people.
That's right. That's right. We can take the short film and then make it tangible. And we're not getting ahead of ourselves. Like, we know this is a short film. It's not a feature. It's not a feature film. It goes for 15 minutes, which is much longer than the original script, but still
Much longer.
A completed story with a point. It's amazing. It's come up so well. And yeah, now we can share that with everyone. It's crazy.
It's really cool.
So, what do you think is going to be next after the premiere?
Like the next steps coming?
The next steps coming.
Oof. Something we would love to do, and it kind of connects perfectly in with this premiere idea of running an event, is to just make a like meetup event for creatives to just come together, share their work, encourage each other, and just have a community beginning to form for those who just love creation and art. Not even like stuck into one specific thing, because I come from the games industry mainly, and
Now you're acting, you're writing, you're filmmaking.
yeah,
you're doing
and
it all.
I love music, so I'm beginning to try and learn that stuff as well, but I'm not very good at it. But still, it's like there's that love there, and to see others, I wanna see others doing good with their works. I want to encourage them to do good with their works. I want to see them make amazing things.
Get around other creatives.
Yeah, I want to encourage others to see that, and we both, I believe both of us want the same thing. We want to see others use their gifts
That's right.
to the fullest and for maximum potential, not in like a, I gotta do it way, but out of like a, this is cool, guys, and just get around it. And
do the best of what you have and make the best thing you have of what you've got.
yeah, and even for ourselves to get to do that and be a part of that for others would be such an honor to do. And I believe personally it would be super encouraging and refreshing for us, even for our own projects, to be around that.
That's right.
And
That's right.
I haven't seen many of them. Like, I know there's like certain like clubs and things at universities.
That's
and things,
right. That's right.
But again, those are stuck in universities.
Well, what happens to the people when they finish university?
Exactly.
And who's around them to keep going when you're making your first projects, making your first films, making your first games, whatever it is? Be around creatives. You never know what's gonna. You never know what could come from just being around, being exposed.
Exactly, and there are like some other meetups and stuff I've seen, but most of them usually are bound to a specific industry, which is like you've either got a game dev meetup, or you've got a film student meetup, or a music meetup. But
That's right.
I feel like for most people, all of these mediums, everything creative blends and merges over each other. Like, you've got artists, people who paint and draw, they go into the games and film industry as well.
That's right.
You've got animators, they go into also the film industry and stuff, and even do like screenplay and stuff. It's like, okay, there's a lot of bleeding over of these things. Character designers, and then you've got story writing, because then they start combining those so that you get deeper depth of characters. And it's like, okay. And then you got music, that's bleeds into pretty much everything. You've got film, TV, and even some art. People do drawings and then music alongside it. And it's like, why not just get all these people who have these gifts of just wanting to make, get them together. Also, then get people sharing, growing with each other.
Exactly. I think another thing is doing a premiere, like 100 things have to go right to have that exist. Like, the film had to be written, it had to be shot, it had to be edited, it had to be completed. Then we had to book the cinema. We have to make sure that's going to work and figure out what's the run sheet for the night.
Yeah.
Invite the people, market the event, promote it. So the amount of exposure that we've gained has really, well, it's been really fun to just do new things. You know,
Yeah,
like
it's been really
there's
cool.
a whole world of, I guess, how you release a project and the production and the distribution that comes in. And like, obviously we're just doing a short film premiere, but this is how we're starting. And then that's going to be something that I think could give us some real credibility moving forward for some bigger projects. Having a completed project that's been successful in gathering an audience in a cinema, moving forward, that's so valuable.
And I think one of the biggest takeaways here, that for anyone listening or anyone watching this, and I think even for ourselves to hold on to going forward, is we didn't have money for this. We didn't have funding before it. We just used what we had and kept going, and it feels like at different steps, oh, what are people going to think, or what's going to happen like with this, or what if like these friends actually find out that I put so much care into all this like, you know, nicheness of story writing or this or character, blah blah blah,
that's right.
and acting, this, that, and at least from our personal experience, absolutely, we've had no negative feedback. Absolutely, everyone's come out and been like,
That's
I never
exactly
knew
right.
you guys were into this or like this stuff. Congratulations, this is awesome.
Exactly,
And no
yes.
one has been against us, even though at the start steps of it, it was a bit nerve-wracking, or, oh no,
Like,
what
oh
if
my
they're
gosh,
gonna...
we're gonna like book a cinema. That's an expensive thing.
Yeah, or it's like, oh no, like, is this who I am doing this? Or, but ultimately, at the end of it, all of that, like any fears or insecurities there, were not grounded on anything real.
Exactly. And all the people that knew us as being the creative brothers who have made little projects in the past, seeing us book a cinema, oh my gosh. Like the amount of people that are like, come on, we want to support you. Like, yeah, I'm going to come. It's cool to actually see you can, like, you've taken it from this little thing that maybe I thought was a hobby or whatever it is that you're doing, and now you've created something that now people can gather, people can get around and experience the craft and experience it. Yeah, having like just that little bit of push to get it to the point of, okay, we have a finished deliverable, we can play it, people can come, and everyone who's known that we've had this interest can now join. Everyone's been so supportive. Like it's been so nice, all the messages to see even the little conversations of people saying, hey, by the way, I'm coming. Like that's just so cool. It's so cool. And I know they're just gonna have such a great time on the night, and it's
so heartwarming, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Crazy. So yes, 25th of June, LIDO Cinemas. The link is in the description to get the tickets. Hope to see you there. It's going to be a good night.
It's clearly the breeding ground for the possessed.
Ron, answer the phone.
So what are we actually looking for?
We're looking for anything ghost related.
All right.
Hauntings, if there's birds, dead or alive.
Well, have you actually been in it?
No. The last time I was here, I just parked out the front of it. So, this will be a first.
Well, let's head in.